welcome to the first ever world premiere episode 6 of Gears League and Xbox podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tyler Bello.
This is your second host, Badal Kasai.
Oh, bro, you're going to have to come closer, and you're going to have to speak up. Yeah, you didn't even pick up at all.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties.
It's not technical difficulties, he's just far away.
Yeah, if you didn't catch that little biscuit of a voice, that was Badal saying...
Attempting to introduce himself.
This is Badal Kasai.
And this is the host, Qual Mullo. We're gonna throw. So Tyler mentioned that we just need to organically talk in the stream, which I agree. I mean, most streams have a topic, they talk about stuff. But I think we're gonna just be organic and just transition naturally.
I think we do a great job. I'm
No,
just gonna say
false.
that y'all suck except me.
Except Thanks for the encouragement.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want there to be any confusion. I'm not encouraging. No.
No, but we have a great show for you guys today. I didn't come with any topics, but Tyler always does. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, he has some good stuff, some good nuggets here for you guys.
You know when Dave Chappelle was complaining that he's too good at comedy?
Yeah,
I feel like that's how I am. I'm too good at writing the show. He's like basically he's like sometimes he writes the jokes backwards. Sometimes I write the show backwards.
Oh,
sometimes
okay.
I come here. I have not thought of a topic all week, and I'll just come here and I'll be like, I've got an amazing topic that I'm sure will be amazing.
Yeah,
So,
And I think that's what naturally is like. It's hard for me to like, hey, you know what, this is the topic I want to talk about. To me, I just find issues throughout the weeks that has to do with gaming. I'll be like, hey, this is what I had an issue with. And one of the topics is we can definitely catch on it later on is crashing drivers on NVIDIA cards or any cards, I suppose.
Actually, yeah,
some of these games.
Because I think we can bring it up now because we're kind of talking about like kind of how what our weeks have been like in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little. Yeah, I know you were pretty much out of commission for a while.
I was out of commission for a little bit, and at first I got top of the line 2080 Ti, and it was fine at first. And then there were several updates because November it's the month of games. So I got Call of Duty, and I downloaded Destiny, and then some of these NVIDIA drivers came up, and I updated them, and then somehow some of these games I guess are trying to accommodate to the driver changes, and they crash. And I guess some of the issues is with Battle.net. It's DVI issues with Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. I mean, I played for like 5-10 minutes, and I was like, oh man, I was thinking I was going to cry because I have a really expensive graphics card. But it crashed on me, and then I did some little research. I just found out, and Tyler actually told me it's just driver issues. But you know how we are. We always want to check stats and research our own stuff, and it turns out it's driver issues and then gaming development issues. So that kind of gave me relief. But there's some little bandages that I found on YouTube, so I'm doing okay for now.
But yeah, I do want to say like it seems like this isn't like a new issue. Yeah, cause I had that same thing when I bought the 1080 Ti when it came out. I bought the 1080 when it came out, and yeah, I had that happen too. Where just like one of the, when you've got the biggest baddest card out there, but like you're having the biggest baddest issues.
Yeah, it's like what do you want from me? Like I got this card for this reason. Yeah, and I was kind of frustrated, so I kind of just put down the game a little bit, and I picked up my handheld. So that was a little relief, but I don't know. That's just my gripe. I don't know how you say it in English.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
it's
I like gripe or grape?
It's grape.
It's grape.
But it's really funny that you say grape.
Yeah.
That's my grape.
That's my grape. I mean, if you leave a grape too long, it turns sour. Then you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beta, what you been playing this week?
Well, since I just got that new PC, I've been...
That's right. Oh yeah. So we didn't even talk about that. Badal got himself a PC, a big bad PC, the biggest, baddest PC of them all. He's actually running a little bit higher than I am, as far as power. Yeah, you got the.
I said jealous.
Oh, jealous? I mean. I'm gonna rob you anyway.
I'm gonna rob you. We know where you live.
No.
But I've been kind of remapping my skills on Rocket League and Siege. Siege did
like to my mouse and keyboard.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing how much more accurate you can be with the mouse. Especially like I just got to get more used to like some of those system text. So like
micro keying and stuff like that.
Yeah, with toggling, like switching from right to left. And such like that. But besides that, like I am popping off kills. I'm just leaving myself at more of a disadvantage because I'm not toggling corners.
It's not
I'm
used
just
to
standing
you're-
there.
you're-
and
the mechanics.
swiping
Yeah,
in
you're
real
not
quick.
used to adding I
yeah.
get you.
But besides that, even Rocket League, I've started even getting more working on my groundwork, but now I'm starting to lean more into like aerials again. But it's another one where my toggle buttons for aerial rolls are those top same buttons that Siege uses for toggling right and left. But besides that, I mean, I'm seeing an improvement, definitely. Once I get used to those controls, it'll be completely different from me playing on a controller.
Yeah.
Then watch him get used to those buttons and then try a different game that require you to use different mechanics. Like when I play League, it's literally the QWERTY keyboard, but when I play shooter games, is A, S, W, D, T, or F or whatever. And it's confusing because then sometimes I'm clicking the buttons for League of Legends, and that's not the controls. If I want to throw a grenade, I end up killing myself because I didn't mean to launch a grenade.
Yeah. No, I get you. I still to this day cannot use mouse key. So when I was like 13 years old, I played Combat. Combat Arms was my first main game, other than Maple Story. Combat Arms was my first main game I was really playing. My first shooter was Combat Arms. I was playing with mouse and keyboard, but then the second someone put a controller in my hands, I'm like, this feels right. And like I told you, to this day, like I still play Destiny Crucible, and I will still come out on top every time with a controller. So the controller's where I do my magic. But we now officially have an Xbox podcast where all three of us play on PC. I like it.
Well, trust me, I've been switching back and forth. I haven't forgotten my Xbox. I'm actually getting a couple other consoles and probably revitalizing my Switch collection. But
for sure.
Besides that, I mean,
like I said, with the lines blurring though, I mean, I still can't say. I feel like it's weird if we say that we're PC gamers. Cause like, oh, awesome, you play World of Warcraft, or oh, awesome, you're probably playing League of Legends. That's you actually. League of Legends.
I play League of Legends. I play all the games.
But like, we effectively play Xbox games on a PC. We're in the conversation of the new game releases, which not every PC gamer is. So it's not. We're Xbox gamers. We just own PCs, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah. This week though, I have been going hardcore on Pokemon Shield. So, I have some mixed thoughts about it. I know it's been getting the reviews are okay, it seems like, but there's some people like on YouTube in particular, it seems like they have like a lot of trash to say about it. Most of the complaints are coming about the fact that the game reuses a lot of the animations from the previous entries. Now, I haven't played a mainline Pokemon game in like ever. The last Pokemon game I played was like the remake of Sapphire, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, which was obviously a big improvement over regular Sapphire. So like I'm just like, oh, this is great. And this is kind of the same feeling here. Like this is great. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little weird that we're in 2019. This is obviously one of the highest grossing games there is, and they still can't afford to put in some voice acting. Like there's still no voice acting. Like it's that's to me like. Because the opening was kind of epic, and it just shocked me at one point where the guy just stopped. He just starts like opening his mouth, but like nothing's coming out, and the lines are coming out underneath him. I'm like, what?
I'm not reading. There's a whole library out here.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like some of the main games too.
Can you think of any other AAA game that doesn't have voice acting?
Legend of Zelda didn't for the longest time up until.
Okay. Yeah.
Until Skyward.
Dang, a good example right off the bat.
Okay. I guess other than Nintendo. How about that?
But at the same time, Link has never said a word besides "Hiya." Like I don't think the man's ever said anything. But besides that,
oh my gosh!
I have always thought about like, what if they gave him a voice, but at the same time, most people that play those games.
I would like everyone to talk but him. I think at this point, Link can't talk. Right? I don't want Link going like. By the way, speaking of which, did you ever see like there was like old like PC Zelda game that like, apparently had him like all talking and he was all suave and stuff with Zelda.
I don't think
He's
I'd
just
like
like
it. Personally, I don't think.
Hey,
that would ruin the game for me, even though I didn't play it loud.
The game was apparently trash anyway, but like apparently he was like doing this, like with his hair and stuff like that.
Oh my
like
God.
flipping it, like
actually, like really, I'm not gonna lie. I've read a book based on a story. It's not a Nintendo like licensed book, but it's called The Silent Hero. Quick plug for them. But it's actually a really good book. But I mean, it kind of plays down in that whole part where he's mute, and it just goes through kind of a similar storyline of Majora's Mask, but also slightly different. But it takes place in the same universe.
Actually, sounds kind of interesting. If it's well written, that could be a good piece of fanfic.
Book. Yeah. If you haven't read it, I would actually recommend it.
Fair enough. I'm still making my way through Wheel of Time at the moment, but
it's a really short book.
Yeah.
It's really you could finish it in maybe 2-3 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
If you're reading it like sparsely.
40 minutes a morning is pretty much like 40 minutes a morning, 5 days a week. So pretty much 2 hours a week is basically what I do for books.
The thing is, I don't know if it's on audiobooks because it was originally on. It's an older book.
Fair
it's
enough.
probably like maybe 6-7 years old.
Sounds good.
But
Yeah. Well, anyway, other than the
time.
voice acting thing, yeah, for Pokemon, there's that. I do have a couple other complaints too. Is there's a ton of characters in the game, but no one really says anything. Like it's all stuff that's like Pokemons are great, you know. It's like, there's no content to these characters. So like, they have tons of NPCs. You use 3 of them, right? I feel like that. Also, I mean, I'm only at like I'm only on the city like the 4th gym, but like all the cities look exactly the same, which is kind of weird. Like not exactly, but they all just have like the same basic shape to them.
So it's not like those original games where you're either in a town or you're in a town that's slightly disarranged. Like
I mean, I guess if you think about it, they kind of all looked similar, right?
well, even before, like you'd go to a bigger town and there'd be skyscrapers, there'd be towers that you'd have to work your way up.
I mean, I'm talking about I'm talking about for Pokemon just the main cities themselves. Basically, the place where you'd go to get the gym badge.
I mean, the only thing you're looking for is the Pokemon store and.
Well, it's a little. You should see the new Pokemon. They're full out cities. They got cities in there. They just all look the same.
Same architecture, guy.
Yeah. And then, other than that, though, I am having a blast with the game. It's nice to finally go back into Pokemon. I bought, Star Wars Fallen Jedi Order, and I bought Pokemon the same day. I have no idea why I started with Pokemon. I feel like if I didn't play it, I wasn't going to ever get to it. I feel like Star Wars would have been the shorter game, and then I could have gone to Pokemon, because Pokemon, I'm such an achievement guy that I'm going to complete the Pokedex, at least in the Galar region, that new region. I'm going to at least get all the current Pokemon, so. But, a lot of fun. That's basically what I'm doing now, so, yeah.
Fair enough.
So, one note about the emblem. As you can tell, it's not there yet, but I assure you that eventually this emblem, the logo will be there. Now, so basically, it's being worked on right now. Logomaker.com, free plug for them. At the end of the week here, they said they're going to have our first batch of rough drafts. So I'm kind of thinking that, we'll at least have something to look from here, Friday. So it might be nice. But yeah, so pretty much, I know last week during the XO19 episode, we talked about the logo. Logo should hopefully be here. I won't even say next week, because we're only getting the first drafts, and I feel like it'd be silly if we spend all this money and then we just pick the first drafts to give us. I feel like we should
at least get the other one and see how bad
at least see what's going on. So yeah. So that being that. But otherwise, we have some news stories, and I feel like we actually have something interesting to talk about this week. And we're not even including the stuff we learned from XO19. We did a separate episode on that. It was a special episode. It wasn't numbered. I actually labeled it Gears League Xbox Podcast Special Episode 1, XO19. So, but yeah. So
like a Star Wars episode.
Yeah, right? But otherwise, yeah. So a couple of news. So if you're... One thing I was talking about is Star Wars Fallen Jedi Order. Now, have you guys played it yet or anything? Have you guys started it yet or anything?
No, I haven't started it. Got the game, downloaded on Steam, but I haven't started yet.
Same exact thing. I did that same.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I have the money, and it's like, might as well buy this game. But then I should have waited for a deep sale, because by the time I get to it, I'm finished the other games, it'll be on sale.
It will be March, right?
It'll be March.
Exactly. Yeah. So, well, apparently right now on PC in particular, so that would have actually gotten me and you. Apparently there is a bug that is forcing players to start the entire game over. So this is a write-up here from Kotaku. Players zipping through the newly released Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order should tread carefully and find a way back to their saves if possible. We're now aware of 2 spots in the game where glitches have trapped players with no way to advance and no recourse but to start a new game from scratch. The first spot is on Dathomir, a planet players can visit a couple hours into the game, even though they're generally too underpowered to access much of it at that point. Planetary levels in Fallen Order are non-linear spaces full of hidden passages, and Dathomir is mostly restricted until you've gained access to some later force powers that let you bypass them. Not very deep into Dathomir, players will find a chasm that they aren't supposed to pass before they've gained some key abilities. The problem is that some players, including Kotaku podcaster Kirk Hamilton, have been able to inadvertently get across that gap in one awkward jump, only to then to get stuck. After making that jump, the path behind the player is closed off, and the path ahead of them leads to an areas requiring powers the player doesn't have. So apparently over at the EA help forums, there are 6 pages of comments from people who are stuck at Dathomir.
So is this a bug or is this a part of the game where it makes it a bug so you don't advance?
It's a bug. You should never be able to jump to that part, basically. And but a ton of people are. And then like,
or are they just doing it because they can?
No, right.
No, it's probably part of the thing where even in Skyrim,
Yeah,
you get to a point.
Yeah,
It's like I bet I can
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me just hop and skip to Maloo to that side.
Exactly. Yep. And then I guess I can grab it here. There's a second one here too. Here, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Dathomir is the main one. Yeah, the article said there was 2, but I think the article only listed 1. What a weird. You know what? Listen to me here, Stefan Totilo. You've made me look like a fool. Now you know, like, how dare you? I shall flog you. Yeah, but Dathomir seems to be the main. Oh no. Apparently, yeah, and here. This is the part here. So actually, it is the second part of the second issue. Is on PC. Planet Kashyyyk. Apparently, there's a scripted sequence where a button press was supposed to make his character droid buddy attack 2 enemies, and it didn't work, and it left him stuck. And then he couldn't go.
Snap! It didn't kill both of you.
Right. So apparently, that one is only on PC. But that's the PC one we're talking about. So, but otherwise, yeah. One thing I did learn though, it doesn't matter. Game is shit. You can't turn your lightsaber red, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Game is shit. Return everything.
Game shit. You still bought it.
Here's. Speaking of which, I just thought of something. I might just do like a Steam return until I'm ready to play that game.
You could.
I might do that. Actually, now that I think about that, just
because you haven't played it, and they'd be like, "Okay, I haven't played it. Just says not compatible with my PC."
My God, you're right.
Yeah,
I could totally. Anyway, let's try. But not that I would. I'm gonna definitely play it. I bought it so early. I'm gonna be playing Pokemon for at least the next 2 weeks. That's the problem. But anyway, other than that, yeah, there's no way to turn the lightsaber red. I found this on an article, and obviously this broke my heart. I think you guys. I've been complaining about it on this podcast. I've been complaining about it to everyone who will listen to me for a quarter of a second. Oh, I cannot turn my lightsaber red. Like, apparently, you can't. I mean, I get it. You're a Jedi and stuff. At the same time, shut the fuck up and let me turn my lightsaber red. Right? Apparently, if you pre-order the game, you can turn it orange. And I guess before I think about returning it temporarily, maybe I should look to see if I have the orange one, which is still not. There's no excuse for red. But anyway.
Well, I mean, some of the enemies have red, and they're obviously not Jedi.
You know, listen to me.
I'm just saying.
There's no red lightsabers besides with
the main villain.
Yeah.
And
but fuck him because you know what? I bet there's totally a PC mod.
That's what I was thinking.
There's totally a PC mod.
Yeah.
There will be, but I don't doubt there's one out.
Yeah.
I will wait to play this game until there's a mod that lets me turn that bitch red.
I mean, Skyrim mods are phenomenal, like that 4K mod, and
yeah, exactly. So
it's beautiful.
I guess I'm inherently a console gamer. I'm not used to the world of mods. I think the first time I really genuinely used them was Sekiro, where you can just customize your looks, which was nice. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely turn my saber red.
Yeah.
But
see, that's the thing. If you're gonna be a PC gamer, and I was on a shitty PC before I started with the new one I have, and I was still modding games back and forth. I would get to that point where I had to play like mod Jenga, where I'd add one and then a bunch of other ones would become incompatible.
Mod Jenga, huh?
That is extreme.
Which ones are gonna work? Oh, dude, it would take me hours.
Yeah.
And I'd finally get the right build, just to have. Ended up deleting the Microsoft window on my Mac.
Fair enough.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So, and also to second piece of news. So number 2, a new Mass Effect game is apparently in very early development in BioWare. All right. I
don't trust BioWare anymore.
Yeah, no one does. But I like I said, when I read this article, I'm like, is that a threat? Or is
Well then, escalated quickly.
Yeah, so like, as reported by Kotaku, the project is being headed by longtime series producer Mike Gamble. There are no further details on this potential game at this time. What are your guys' feelings on Mass Effect and Andromeda? Andromeda
Andromeda was just...
Yeah.
The game turned. I literally played it, and then I was like, "What's up with all these characters?" There's no emotion behind the characters.
Oh, like,
there's no.
So you must have played it early when they still had
Oh yeah,
like, there was no facial expressions.
No
like,
facial,
oh
like,
my
wow,
god, my whole family's dead.
These people have no emotions. Like I can't do this. And every time I go to a mission, and it's just the animations, and when they're talking, the person's doing like contortionism. I'm like,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Dude, there was so... Oh my god, it was so funny. Because I was on the Facebook... I was on a Facebook group, like a gaming one. Mm-hmm. And they kept posting stuff about, like, stuff in there. And so apparently this person was just talking normally. But her eyes were just, like, rotating all the fucking all crazy over the place.
They were somewhere hilarious, though.
Hilarious. And basically it was, like, a point where, like, he was at the end. He's like, oh, okay. I'll do that mission. Please don't hurt me.
Some of the stuff they say, and it's just the animations are just the worst I've ever seen.
I think they have to be fixed by now.
Oh yeah,
right? I mean they came out 4 years ago.
Yeah,
or 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know.
Man, that's a long time. Then you can tell you how much I love the game.
Right? Yeah. I've heard from a good source that after the fixes, it's a good game. Yeah. I just
can't go back. I can't.
Here's the thing: like we shouldn't have to go back. The game, it's Mass Effect. Right?
Wasn't it released early anyway?
It was. First off, it took 5 years for it to come out.
Yeah.
So 2016. Thank you. It was 3 years. I just did the math in my head. There you go. So it took 5 years for the game to come out. And I don't. It was delayed several times, and then came out, and then people felt like it was early because it was
under delivered.
It was in such poor condition. I mean, it wasn't. Like I said, I think I already talked about it on this podcast. Actually, the fact that like my issue had nothing to do with the glitches. My issue was something along the lines of I got my PS4 Pro, right, and then I save woe issues. But I eventually will go back to Andromeda. But I think the overall consensus is it's not the same caliber of game as Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3.
No,
and
love those games.
Exactly, and I think we've kind of proved. I think with Anthem, I think we kind of have the idea that this BioWare is not the same BioWare that this was a few years ago making the Mass Effect trilogy, So, like, this little bit... I feel like everyone should be a little worried, because I feel like... Let's think about everything since Mass Effect 3, right? They had BioWare... They had Dragon Age Inquisition to a lot of fans.
That was a phenomenal game, though.
So, here's the thing. I hear some people say that. I hear some people say it was like a thud to the hardcore Dragon Age.
That's
fans
true.
Too. So,
yeah.
But I'll definitely be... I'll be playing
the storyline.
in the coming... I plan to play through all the Dragon Age is actually one thing on my backlog. Witcher and Dragon Age are 2 games I'm trying to finally get to, starting with the first ones in the series. But yeah, we have Dragon Age, so I'd say it's divisive, Dragon Age, and then Andromeda, which is overall just people hate it, even though it seems to be an okay game. But people seem like they were attacking that game when it came out. And then we had Anthem, which is one of the biggest thuds ever. And then, I mean, like that's what I was saying. Like, we're creating a new Mass Effect game. Oh God.
God, please no, no, not my kids.
Yeah, not my family.
Not my family. Not my wallet.
Yeah. So, I don't know. A little worried, but I'm gonna hope that it turns out for the better, I suppose. But yeah. Any other closing thoughts on that? Did you ever play the Mass Effects?
Nope.
Oh,
those are some jewels for you to play. Especially on PC. Yeah, especially on PC since now you can make them look awesome. Yeah, I won't touch them again on PC because there's no achievements on them. I'll wait till they add some achievements if they the remaster, which is rumored next year. But yeah, so.
Remaster games are phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Like PlayStation, not PlayStation. What's it called?
I was just about to go to number 3. Kill yourself.
No, go ahead. It's
Okay. Cool. I will go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go to number 3.
Okay,
I'm gonna go kill myself in the corner over there.
Good. No.
We don't condone self-killing or suicide. You're just saying.
For media matters out there, right? Yeah. No, please, God, don't attack us.
Don't attack us.
No. But seriously, so yeah. Well, to number 3. While many have presumed Microsoft's major Xbox service will be making the leap to next-gen hardware, Xbox Phil Spencer confirmed that Xbox Game Pass and much of players' investment on it during the Xbox One's life will bridge the players into the next generation. Namely, the article shows that apparently your saves and everything, and like all the games available on Game Pass on Xbox One, day one are going to be available on Xbox Scarlett. So I think this is probably, we were kind of expecting no less at this point, but at the same time, it is kind of nice to know that your save file. So if you're grinding, this kind of leads me to another kind of thing I kind of want to talk to you about, and maybe I should have made this a full topic. We'll see if there's maybe enough of it to make into a full topic later. But of how they're gonna do this next generation. Of like if you buy because we're all pretty sure the game prices are gonna go up, and I guess there's maybe a chance they don't because game streaming seems to be putting more revenue and stuff into developers' pockets at this point, so maybe they don't need to raise prices. But let's just assume game prices go up. They're $70, but your PS4, Xbox One version is $60. You have Game Pass, so you didn't pay anything for it anyway. When you have Game Pass on the Xbox Scarlett, is it then the Xbox Scarlett version, or is Game Pass the Xbox One version?
That raises some eyebrows a little bit.
Yeah, yep. And if it is, does it transfer your save from one version to the other? It seems like it will. I don't know. Things to think about, but at the same, I don't know. It seems kind of exciting to at least know that your save files are gonna be gone if you were late to upgrade. Because not everyone upgrades day one, like me. I was day one on Xbox. Just to point that out. I had to control and everything to prove it. Yeah. What you got?
Baby.
No. All right. So number 4. If you're worried about Xbox Scarlett having the same out-of-the-gate stumble as Xbox One, you should be put at ease at least a little bit. Microsoft has learned a lot from its experience of launching the Xbox One when it comes to both the pricing and the capabilities of the upcoming Xbox Project Scarlett, and it doesn't want to repeat the mistakes it acknowledges making with that console. In an interview with The Verge, Microsoft's head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, stated that the company learned a lot from the current console generation. I would say a learning from the Xbox One generation is we will not be out of position on power or price, Spencer told The Verge. If you remember the beginning of this generation, we were $100 more expensive, and yes, we were less powerful. And we started Project Scarlett with this leadership team in place with the goal of having market success. So, kind of going back to our Xbox Scarlett topic that we had a few weeks back, this seems like it really is them trying to gear up for the cheaper, stronger console.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But then again, like, what about those games that they're discounting? Everybody buys them so they can upload their backlog. Like you and I have. We have a backlog, but then Scarlett comes out. What do? Do you just wait for the next generation console?
What do you mean?
Like some of the games, like do we know any big games are coming out for their Scarlett?
Oh, yeah. The next Halo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be the only one they've released. So.
I think that's the only official one. Yeah.
But you can play Xbox One X games on the Scarlett.
It'll be backwards compatible.
Yes,
but
100% back.
Every game over immediately.
Okay.
Right. Eventually, I think there's gonna be a point where they're gonna try to make you pay for they're gonna eventually make you pay for the new game. So there eventually will be a reason, I think, for you to upgrade. Right.
If anything, I could see them raise the prices on Game Pass and start bridging over a lot of those games.
Right. But I think this is them gearing up for a $399 release price. And from everything we've been seeing about Sony, it looks like Sony's gearing up for a $499 price. And these are all obviously guesses, and we could be wrong, but it seems like that's where this is going. And if that's true, I think Xbox might be in for a really good head start on this generation. So obviously not like the stumble they had last year with the, with Xbox One, with their always online announcement and then having to retract it. Yeah, I don't know. So
Xbox always has better community, so I think that's the only thing that's always going to hold them.
I think that might kind of help it going forward, especially since we have so much, consumer friendly things on this generation going forward. I think we'll be in good shape for sure. So, all right, that is it for the news. So last topic I wanted to talk to you about was game streaming. That should be the topic of the week. I was thinking that should be a good topic. Unless someone has another topic they want to replace in the last second here.
No topics for me. Mine was just that great gripe about the DVI or DVEV, whatever issues on Battle.net and then bug errors and driver errors on a computer. Like, I have all these AAA games I'm trying to play, but then all these errors come out, so it kind of discourages me. Then I go back into playing being a council peasant.
Just like you.
Just like you,
listener. No.
We didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It's fine.
I meant to hurt your feelings. No.
But
yeah, game streaming. I have some revolutionary piece of news. I know I complained about it in the XO19 episode about me not getting into the Project xCloud beta for 2 months after I played that 2 months ago. Good news. I got in. I tried it. It works. I've got comments. So, also this week what happened was, I think Google Stadia is out now officially, right? Mm-hmm. So, game streaming is obviously the only thing that Stadia does. Good thing, Xbox is kind of working on game streaming in addition to their console service. Today I was able to play at work on my phone Gears 5, and I've got mixed feelings on it. Now, immediately, I think I'm gonna go ahead and admit my own. There's probably maybe a gimmick in here, a little bit of the fact that, hey, I was playing Gears 5 at work. so maybe it was a lot more, rose tinted glasses than anything, but obviously we have to assume that gimmick's gonna wear off at some point when you just get used to it and you're just mad, like, why won't it work? Smack, smack,
You're gonna smack your phone.
Right, exactly. So I'll start with kind of my opening experience, and I'll kind of go from there. So, for those who don't know, I finished my work early. That's why I started streaming at work. Or I'm not just awful, but I'm awful. I'm kidding. I played like most of the day actually. But anyway, so I got on. I tried doing versus. Immediately, it crashed. Now it crashed several times. Me trying to pull up the game, and then eventually in the game it kept crashing. I eventually decided to try Horde or something. Right, so I get into the game. This is like my third or fourth attempt with it crashing. Get into Horde. Get in. Immediately, it's sort of unplayable. So I did this on because we work at a cell phone store, so we actually have pretty decent internet. So I did our regular internet. It was kind of unplayable. So what happened is input lag is a real thing, and if you've never played with input lag, well then God bless your soul, you've never had to go through this emotional trauma.
The death of all.
That's exactly
We had Beetle here give us a demo of input lag.
Yeah, that's one day if you subscribe to our Patreon, we'll get to video releases and you'll be able to see Beetle's new. But yeah, no, but basically, yeah, you'd press left, and it would take a split second, maybe even close to half a second for your character to actually turn right. And half a second doesn't seem like a lot, but you make a lot of movements on your joysticks all the time, and half a second for every response is going to take forever for anything to happen. All right, and so right away it was unplayable. I also kept getting interrupted by an error message saying that there's a network issue.
They're trying to connect.
And it kept popping up saying there's a network issue. So that sucked, but I was trying to get through it. It did eventually get a little better. Now, at first, our regular Wi-Fi at work is iffy because, it kind of goes up and down, so it fluctuates a bit. So, it was starting to get a little better, kept crashing. So I had an idea. So basically, I got through, wave 3 of Horde, and then it crashed completely, and I had to restart. So then I used our employee internet, and that was, I will dare say, a very playable experience. Now, if you're familiar with Gears, you definitely couldn't go into versus playing like this, or else, good lord, no, you would get murdered. No, but I went to Horde, and there was some input lag, not enough to drive me nuts because I guess I was playing on my phone anyway. There's a little bit of input lag, but I was playing at a very good ping. My ping was 37 on Gears of War. So a couple things I kind of want to point out with this means there is nothing wrong with the internet. So, because 37 ping is incredible on Gears, it means that I was effectively probably playing this the best that game streaming could possibly be. I mean, I'm sure you could get better with fiber optic connection, but that's effective. Our employee Wi-Fi is effectively a 500 meg download speed. 37 ping is incredible. I'm streaming.
Viewing the ping at.
I was doing because on Gears you can just press the back button and it'll show you what your current ping is.
Here's the problem with that.
So
it's doing a ping from the stadium
to the server exactly.
But it's not showing the additional ping that you're receiving from connecting to that streaming service to your phone.
Yep, I get it. Yeah, so I'm streaming the game itself, and then the game is also connecting to the internet itself for the playability to connect with the other people.
And I can imagine it would be at least double, so I'd say 60 at the least.
Well, exactly. So
which at that point can.
Yeah. What about hard connection?
60 is actually 60 is what I've always played Gears at 60 because I never can get better than that because we live in South Dakota. So that's actually what I normally play with, and that's a lot better than what I was playing with then. But so kind of a little bit more about that too. So basically, the ping to the server was 37. Obviously, I'm streaming the game too, and at this point, it is very playable. But I keep getting interrupted from the thing saying that it's having connection issues. Eventually, I figured it out that obviously I wasn't having connection issues. It was actually the xCloud servers. I think they accepted a whole new round of people into the betas testing. So I think a bunch of people were streaming all at the same time. So I did that. So basically, but eventually that actually went away. It looks like they resolved the server issue. So for for 25 waves of Horde, I was uninterrupted streaming the game on my phone playing. I had a lot of fun. I will first by say that I had fun. But there's still that I could not have played competitively like that in any way though. There would be no way for me to go into a versus PvP match and win. I was doing co-op. I was having a lot of fun. There was input lag a little bit, but that was kind of it. Like I will say, I kind of was made a believer. Qual, you actually came
I was
in.
there. I was actually impressed. It was the graphics and the playability.
It does look beautiful.
It's gorgeous, especially on a mobile device. Now that's the other thing. Do you think it's the type of device you're streaming on that also might affect the latency and input lag?
So no, I don't, because this is apparently supposed to work on the most potato of tablets too, and anything, So this is supposed to be like.
At the end of the day, it's just streaming.
Exactly.
Quality is.
Yo, obviously the app is running hard on your phone itself, which probably doesn't hurt, but at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is mainly just the streaming of the experience itself. But yeah, it looked good, which I kind of at the same time
I was impressed. I was like, this is probably the best.
It did look beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I kind of thought like it'd be kind of nice if I had the option to turn it down to 480p since I'm on a mobile device. Turn down to 480p, maybe get some better results with less input lag or something.
What if you change the resolution on your settings on your phone? Does it by default?
Won't. I'm pretty sure you're streaming if you can't change it in game. I'm pretty sure even if you turn your screen down to 480p, you're still streaming it at 720 or something. Whatever.
So their servers or software doesn't recognize the type of resolution the streaming device has?
It does, but it doesn't matter because it still takes the same amount of internet. Like basically, if you go on your phone right now and you go and watch Netflix, and you stream it at 180p or whatever, or 480p.
Man, that's
well, it doesn't look too terrible, and you're not using that much data because you're streaming so low.
Yeah.
But the image could look the exact same. You could be streaming it at 4K, and you're using a ton of data because it doesn't care what your output is. It cares what you're streaming, and that's what you're streaming. So I don't know if that would help it or something, but.
So we'll do a test this week and see the different types of streaming and how.
I'm gonna keep testing it. I'm gonna try it at home too. So here's the thing too. Here's kind of what I'm gonna get to though. Is just. That is some of the highest internet that I don't think I have that fast internet at home other than our employee internet. I think that's some of the fastest internet that is probably available for most people. And it was fun, but I will kind of say it was kind of barely playable. I will get used to it. Like after I keep playing like that a bit, I'm going to get used to it. I'm going to be fine. But it took so much to get there. And our first Wi-Fi, our consumer Wi-Fi, that was unplayable. And I feel like that's most people's internet. So it game streaming is amazing when it works, but it's unplayable when it doesn't.
Yeah.
So
I'll test out my gigabyte internet at home.
You should try. Yeah, if you get accepted into it, yeah.
I'll test it out at home.
But one thing I do want to say, I think it's only on Android is the problem though.
I have an Android device at home.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Give it a shot. So, but yeah, so I kind of want to talk about. So Google Stadia, that kind of goes long full turn back into my conversation about Google Stadia. I feel like this should be Tyler's soapbox this episode. I'm sorry, my bad. So, but Google Stadia, it only does streaming, and I've heard from I don't know if it's true or not. Again, it was from an IGN source. They were saying that the Google Stadia, they didn't have latency issues because Destiny 2 is apparently on Google Stadia, and people said they were playing Destiny 2 on Stadia just fine. Now that is also the middle of LA, a business who probably does pay a lot for their internet and probably maybe has fiber optic cables by way of maybe even paying to get those cables, So, but they said that in comparison, xCloud wasn't the same thing. Now, obviously, that's not firsthand info. I don't know because, like I said, I had a lot of fun playing how I played it, and that was just Project xCloud, not Google Stadia. But I'm just thinking, like, what possible future could Google Stadia have at this moment, only having the option of streaming? But overall, I guess I'm impressed with the idea of game streaming. I don't know. That's kind of my thing. It's just like I feel like Google. I know everyone kind of wants Google Stadia to fail right now, and it probably will. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like the idea was there. I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts on game?
Is it
streaming?
like the NVIDIA Shield? I haven't.
So here, I think it's similar. So NVIDIA Shield worked like so. Perfect example, good segue. So basically, Steam allows you to stream the game if you're in the same Wi-Fi, which makes it very playable. I've played in my bedroom from my gaming PC. I've played Batman Arkham City or Sekiro. That is completely fine. That works perfectly. There is no input lag. That is 100%. That's working technology, right? That can be done. You can do that easily today. NVIDIA Shield was the same thing where you would just stream the game to it and it would work just fine. That's awesome tech. But basically this is removing the computer itself and just streaming the game from some server in California or somewhere.
So there's no platform for support or not. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure they're running off something powerful.
Right.
But again,
exactly.
you still have to stream it from multiple states away.
Yeah, exactly. And here, our nearest servers are usually Chicago because we live in South Dakota. So usually we're streaming from Chicago, and that's why you can check the Gears ping. The Gears ping is always 60 or sometimes you get to 50s, but you don't really get much better than that here because that's the best ping you're gonna get. So, but I guess overall, I kind of want to say game streaming is epic and amazing. I just worry who it's for.
That's what I was gonna ask the audience, who actually has time.
Who has the internet and who has even if you have the internet, is this something you use? I feel
what if I want to go to a coffee place? The latency is just going to be terrible.
Here's the thing, I tried. So I also did try this too. I tried playing it off my cellular connection, at least at work. It was basically, it wasn't as bad as the consumer internet, but it's still unplayable. And I think you need a 5G connection to play this regularly, out in the open. And 5G is rolling out kind of slowly, So it'd be interesting to see how 5G affects it. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of had a soapbox in there just because from my experience.
No, it's a good topic. It's kind of in the grounds of what's really happening in the future, and I think what my thing is, I just feel the more streaming capabilities and technology comes in, I feel like handheld companies or companies that want to do handhelds, that would be phenomenal. What if you can just stream AAA games on an actual handheld and stuff?
Well, so I get what you're saying there. I feel like there's going to be a small market, but at the same time, I guess for so long, I feel like people have been fighting the handheld market. I feel like if this doesn't destroy the handheld market, I kind of don't know what does. Because the reason I say that is because
I love handhelds.
But now you've got you've always had your phone, and then the handheld was an addition to that. Now, basically, now it's basically well, why do you need the handheld? You've got your phone.
What they could do is usually, if you think about it, build a device. It's got super good connectivity. Maybe got an antenna or two hanging out the back. They just focus on the display, and now it's the streaming device. Completely standalone, but they would just stream to a network, and it's just primed for that experience. So you can take whatever gaming service you use, stream off of that on that device. But again, they just have to figure out if that's...
It's very new tech right now. Yep. So, and that's why they call it Project X Cloud, because apparently it's not done yet.
And I know it's going to be done within the year. They're going to be doing...
They said the next 3 to 5 years. They said they think before it's going to be officially rolled out and done.
Which makes sense. And I'm glad that they actually admitted that it's going to take them time, because that just means, hey, we're putting in work. We know this is a rough idea right now, but let's see what we can do. And if anything, they're going to add more beta testers down the road. They're going to expand their servers and their tech that they have there on site. At the end of the day, we just have to see what they can do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Interesting stuff. Kind of interesting that the gaming industry seems to at least... I don't know if it's still a gimmick yet, but...
It's a gimmick as of now.
Yeah, right.
But at
the same time, I feel like VR has still not gone past gimmick either.
But VR is a different experience. You've already had put down thousands of dollars, and now you're adding a couple more $100. Right. That point is not a gimmick. You monetarily, you can't, as an individual, view that as a gimmick. Right.
I get you. Yeah. So. But yeah, otherwise, any other closing thoughts at all on game streaming or anything else for this episode of Gears League and Xbox Podcast?
No, I think it was well put on my end from your end, just hearing your input on streaming, and obviously you'd done it, so talking about it was great. Gave me kind of a little insight on what I'm expecting, because now it kind of gives our consumers an idea of what troubles you might run into. So it's always good to get that insight. So, but yeah, no closing thoughts for me, but I think I'm gonna go back and finish my handheld games. I need to finish Fire Emblem because
Right.
that game really got my heart. Like that was one of my favorite games of all times.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep playing Pokemon like
Yeah.
forever.
Just like Final Fantasy Tactics, they need to bring games like that, like turn-based games.
Right, strategy was Fell Steel Arbiter's Mark, by
Yeah.
the way. That's a spiritual successor to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
So I think I'm gonna start playing those games, those strategy tactic games. So
yeah. Sounds good. Well, yes. Again, you can email us at gearsleaguepodcast@gmail.com. That is gearsleaguepodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/TOPOLEADK. That's twitch.tv/TOPOLEADK. Any plugs for you guys?
no plugs yet. I think I'm gonna reamp my man cave. Probably do some upgrades on my PC, but Tyler doesn't think I should.
Yeah, no, because you're sick. Okay, I do have a closing thought now. Now, great thing you brought that up. Oh my God, PC gaming is such a disease. Listen, if you're
worse
out there,
than drugs.
if you're out there thinking if you should get a console, don't do it. No, if you get a PC, don't do it, man. No. Here's why I say this is a disease. No matter what, if you're like us, no matter what, you're never satisfied. Here's the thing. You find yourself being able to play it less and less, or you play one game over and over again, and then one insignificant thing that doesn't matter, one shadow flickers, you have to turn the shadows down one notch. Anything. You lose your shit and you feel like you have to spend $1,000 to upgrade because that one shadow wasn't proper.
It's not. And that's honestly kind of, I will get there eventually if I get a 4K monitor.
Yeah.
But as of right now,
You're good for a while. 2K.
I won't even notice. I'll notice that it looks great, but not notice that a shadow was off.
Right, exactly.
Or a pixel was off frame or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
As of right now, I'm very content with the purchase.
Fair enough. All right, alrighty, guys. Take care. Deuces.
Have a good one.